no contact is so essential. And sometimes don't bump your head more than once when you try to reach back out. You only bump your head one time, and then after that, I'm going right back on no contact. And not only am I on no contact, you can't get in contact even if you try. You know, so I'm completely exiled myself from any way, in shape, or form for you to get in contact with me. It's impossible, you know? And I think that's another thing. People want to be in a no contact situation or want to have a no contact within a situation, but yet make themselves accessible. Right? And then they might, and I'm not saying change your phone number, but let's just say they keep the same number.
Never change my phone number.
Okay, yeah, I'm not doing all that.
Yo, I would change my address, my phone. I change my ID. Like,
if it needs to be that extreme, I can see someone going to the extremes. But I mean, I guess situationally, I wouldn't have to do that. I think I'm very good at no contact. I'm excellent.
I have to stop you right there because I think that you have people that you know you can get to like that. So my cousins or aunties or whatever, they know they can't call me with that. Because they'll be like, if they call me, I'll be like, but I said I'm not going. So why are you calling my phone? You know what I mean? But I have other cousins who are more susceptible to another cousin or maybe like somebody, grandma, grandpa, or auntie or somebody like calling you and like asking you like, hey, are you doing this? Are you going to do that? Or why aren't you doing this? Or why aren't you doing that? You know, people know who they can pull that stuff with. Right. And I think one, and I've said, y'all know this, but like, I think that people, one, they automatically associate me with my dad.
I was just about to say, she gonna say something about her daddy.
Right, like, I'm my daddy.
Like, let me just wait.
No, seriously. Well, that's how I looked at you. Like, I'm my daddy's child. Like, they know, like, if they're gonna call somebody with some bullshit, it won't be David Campbell's child. You know what I mean? They gonna call one of the other kids. You know what I'm saying?
Do the gossiping.
Yeah.
Don't call me with family gossip.
But like, or they'll call me and see what I gotta say. But like, as far as like trying to pressure me into doing something, they already know. Like, because they know my daddy. They know I'm not the one. You know what I'm saying? And even
I don't have no family gossip.
Oh, there's gossip. There's always.
You're just not in it yet. You still 22.
Yeah.
No, you're right, because I am younger. Most of my family is like my mom's family. Like, my cousins are my mom's cousins. So they talk amongst the elders.
Yeah, and you can get in where you fit in.
Yeah, I just gotta.
Yeah.
She be fucking eavesdropping.
And I'll even say this, like, because I'm one of the older grandkids, I've had a chance to like establish myself like as a real person. They were like, Erin, she cool, but we don't really fuck with her like that. On that, you know what I'm saying? On that level. Because, like, don't call me no bullshit. You know what I mean? And Rico said this, Rico said this months, weeks, or whatever, but he was like,
a few episodes ago, go watch them.
You know who you can pull that foolishness with. Mm-hmm. It ain't everybody. You know,
my own mom would call me, right? My mom and my sister had beef for like, I don't know, 6 years, maybe even longer. I'm not sure.
They wasn't talking?
No, they was talking, but they wasn't talking. But they was
fight?
talking. They was fighting like over like the phone.
I seen my mama and my grandma fight before.
That's fire. My grandma, my grandma, and my mom.
That would be a core memory for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's core.
Go ahead, Grams.
I remember it. Like you got somebody with my attitude. Like, fuck out of here. And you got somebody like who's a fucking firecracker. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like my grandma. Like. And their daughter, their mother and daughter, like they both with this shit. Like, that's the thing. Like,
but that happens though.
Core fucking memory. Well, and my cousins don't know about this shit. They wasn't around, you know. But again, everybody think my grandma, she's so cute. Cute as fuck. Sweet as hell.
Fucking throwing them hands though.
A fucking fire starter and finisher.
But do you think that's part of the problem where people's
Yeah, she a problem. But she was a problem.
Well, I think
people are too not stubborn, but how you can go no contact with somebody, but maybe you're so much alike where nobody's willing to give. Kind of like two stubborn people. right? And you're both so stubborn that you're holding each other back from actually growing. So you have to one of you have to cut each other off in order.
But you're no contact. So someone.
But I'm saying, whoever's cutting the other person off and initiating the no contact, I think that person probably feels like they're being selfish.
Oh, okay.
In some way, somehow, but they're doing it from a place of wanting to just kind of like grow and.
I don't know, child. For me, it's hard to say I'm going no contact and then have somebody interfere with that.
But I
Hell
think
no.
the no contact thing, I feel if you struggle with boundaries, you're gonna struggle with no contact.
Exactly.
No contact.
That is it right
Simple.
there. Period.
I personally
Say it again. One more time.
If you struggle with boundaries, you're gonna struggle with no contact. I
Period.
personally don't struggle with boundaries.
Yeah.
It's take it.
Can we do can we do a questionnaire? Do you struggle with boundaries?
Yes.
So
you struggle with boundaries?
I
Yes.
can see that. So perhaps you may have an issue with no contact.
But you know what? When I get into it and like when I decide that this person,
There's a difference between deciding and fed up. Some people finally strengthen their boundaries when they're fed up.
correct.
You've been decided, but you've been
Oh,
wavering.
you're right.
And now
Yeah.
you're fed up. That's the difference.
You're right. Yeah.
You're right, because once I am fed up, that's what makes me so good at no contact. Because I don't want to talk to you. Now it's my
You
get
needed
fed
that
up.
pressure then. You needed that pressure from that other person to do that.
yeah. You're
As
right.
opposed to like, you could just be tired and be strong and do the shit yourself.
Right.
So I feel like there's people out there that are just strictly energy vampires. That all they're put on this earth to do is suck the life out of somebody. And if you are that victim, then that's you.
And it's me like, no, they're not a vampire. They're human. They're mortals.
No, seriously.
They're not a vampire.
Now, I walk around with my repellent
Repellent.
Yeah.
every day.
Lavender oil in this bitch.
I got hella garlic on me.
I said onions. Garlic.
Well, no, 'cause he done had a spray.
Yeah.
And there be people around you like, yo, take the garlic. I'm like, no, I don't like that smell.
And then they be like, bite the hell out your neck.
Well, they're gonna keep coming back to see if you change.
They will.
To see if you're gonna finally give in.
That's an Aquarius trait. You know,
What is?
we don't abide by the no contact when it's on us. Whatever, I'll find a way around this shit. Like, I see a little crease right here. Chip away just a little bit, and we find our way back in.
I don't like people like
only,
that.
It's only for a short amount of time because you
I've
know what?
definitely dealt with a Sagittarius that continuously did that to me.
No, he wasn't the right one.
No.
That means she was the no contact. Like,
He didn't decide it was.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
This is full contact.
Sagittarius, like a Sag cut you off.
It's like this.
You just dead.
Anything like after that is like just oblivion.
Yeah.
Like just it doesn't fucking exist. Literally.
That's how I am too. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to love yourself more because you probably love yourself more than that person that you have to stay away from them. So you can love that person, but like if that person's dangerous to you and is affecting your business, is affecting your mental health and everything you got going for yourself, then who do you love more? Because at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, like, how long are you going to let this energy vampire be in your life and not do their own inner work to stay in your life?
Oh, they know I don't
Figure
be
that shit out.
They're
What,
like,
what you
duh.
want to do?
Ain't shit different from last weekend.
Like when I was in college, like my best friend in college, he would literally have these girls come and pick us up. Like it would be like we would be wasted. And it would be like these girls that like, they were interested in him, they wanted him, whatever. And he'd be like, yeah, can you come pick us up? They thinking they finna come and pick up like him from 6th Street. Like 6th Street is like the main street in Austin or whatever. And it's like me and then like his roommate. We're all wasted. Like
That's the best way.
like they brought us tacos and like it was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to all you ladies that love him. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who he is.
And that's why I had a problem with the other segment.
Yes.
Because the real ones don't get the ones in poverty to do things.
What do you mean?
Because she wouldn't have had
The
a
ones
car.
that was getting you tacos and all that shit.
She wouldn't have.
She
had-
wasn't
they-
in poverty.
They didn't have a car to
We
pick
were in
y'all up.
college. Like,
Yeah, but it starts there. That's
Tacos
the
was the
foundation.
cheapest
I think my friend was, I think my homeboy was in poverty. So they was trying to rescue
He
us.
was finessing the finesse. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't in no poverty, baby. I had extra money.
He was in
I had
poverty.
extra money.
I was around.
Conservative.
I was around and like, it was kind of like, you gotta like my friend too. If
That's
You
cool,
know,
yeah.
so-
I'm with that.
I wonder how he repaid them.
that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't shit.
Sometimes you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, he repaid them.
But you know what?
Had
I
nothing to
think
do with me.
I
In
know.
our community,
I just ate my tacos and just.
in our community, we tend to say, if I have to choose me or you, I'm still gonna choose you.
That's
Right?
the fucked up part.
And that's why we make these exceptions, and that's why we don't.
Are you
stand
talking
on-
about your Jersey community?
No, I'm talking about our Black African American
Oh.
community. Again, the Black community, we're taught if we start choosing ourselves, we're the bad Black person in our community. Every other community, the white guy, the Spanish guy, they can make millions and then they can choose them and their families and exile everything else and they get praised. The second we start choosing ourselves, it's the issue.
Can I interject? I think it's because we start from a different base.
I agree.
I think they start from a communal base, meaning like it was like 17 families in one 5-bedroom house. So it's like everybody literally has come up from the same place, and then when you get to wherever you're gonna reside, wherever your efforts lead you, wherever your smarts lead you or whatever, that's where you are. And then at that point, you can make those selfish decisions. Whereas I think that we come more from a place of scarcity where we haven't had a chance to have these group economics
Yeah.
and have 17 of us living in a 5-family house.
But we also don't make the efforts to do it and are willing to do it either.
Well, but and so I was about to touch on that. So I think part of it is you have to understand again where Black Americans, descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, where that comes from. It's not just we didn't just fucking think of this shit. It comes from like where we actually come from. So it's like, hey, we've been living in these houses with 10 other people all our lives, and it's like. Cool. Like it's like saying like I'll give you a perfect example. My mother, my mom, her mom has like 14 siblings, right? So when you have a lot of siblings, there's a lot of fucking first cousins and grandkids or whatever, and depending on where you fall, 9 times out of 10, the younger ones are gonna be helped by the older ones. Because you've established your family earlier, you've got like a house earlier, this, that, and the other. And so my mom's mom was one of the younger ones, and she was always the cool auntie. Her and my grandfather were like, if you ran into a problem, you can go live with Aunt Neat and Uncle Earl. Like, there's literally not one person in my family who has never lived with my grandparents. Literally, like if you did not live with them, you were in the minority. Like that's how it was. And so I think that when you have like lived your whole life with your whole family being around you, and like say like the next stage in your life, you don't want that. It's kind of probably you're probably looked down on, or like people looking at you like, why you want to be like that? But it's like, hey, I've lived my whole life with everybody else. I've always had to share my space. I've always had to do this. So it's like, why can't I just have me and my family? Me and my fucking kids and my spouse. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree, but I'll say like, I think that's the difference between the South and up here. Up here, you by yourself. Everybody's a lone wolf. I feel like
okay.
Up here, we were never living together. You know what I'm saying? Up here, you out the house by your own, struggling at 18. Mm-hmm. So I think when we look,
that's very much a
northern thing.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's very much different. Yeah.
And I think
Some
so.
people,
I'm speaking.
not all.
I'm speaking from.
A man is like, baby, I ain't leaving the house.
No,
The economy is bad.
but you actually.
No, I'm telling you, don't leave.
But you actually can't.
Don't fucking leave.
You were fortunate enough to grow up in this time because that was not accepted in 2000.
But for girls, you think?
They should have had a man by then.
You think so?
In 2000, I would say if you was 27 in 2000, you should have been somewhere else and not at home. But in 2025 or 24, it's, relatively different. So you're fortunate. And I think that, growing up in the area that I've grown up in, the northern area, East Coast, there was no like community. The community was
I didn't realize that,
community.
honestly.
You was on your own. And if you struggled, we struggling too. We all struggling. So I think that
It was like, quit begging.
yeah, quit begging it.
No, because everybody gotta figure it out for their
shit here. None of us got it. You don't, I don't, we don't, but we chilling together.
There was something that I saw on Twitter not too long ago.
It's not how
And it's like this woman.
Y'all are, in my opinion, I'm sorry. In my opinion, and I don't know a lot of people from the South, but I do know that my girl was originally from Dallas, right? And knowing her
Born there?
Yeah. Knowing her family and the people that I know from Texas, specifically that type of Southern, they are way more family oriented than New York, New Jersey area.
Tight knit.
Yeah, they're way more family oriented. I think over here is more so every man for himself, or even
I
woman.
actually didn't know that.
And so that's just my opinion from my own experience.
Question, and I know you're Caribbean, like your mom is Dominican or whatever. Well, so that's what I was about to ask.
I was like, yeah, that's maybe a Caribbean thing because these American parents, they're brutal.
That's literally what I was about to ask.
I'm from Little Dominican Republic of New Jersey. All right, everybody's by themselves, right? Like the boys, the girls, the boys, the
So
mom.
everybody gets kicked out?
Everybody is, even if they don't get kicked out, they do their best to leave early.
Baby, my daddy was like, you can come home. I was like, thank you, Dad.
No, you could go back home, but
No, well,
Or you can stay home, but
Well, no,
you 18 now. I
went to grad school. So I went to college, obviously. I went to grad school.
you deserve to come home. But imagine a nigga he's not in grad school. He's still selling weed.
My daddy was like, you can come home and I'm gonna pay your bills. I was like, "Nigga, sign me up. Where the pants at, the shirt, look, sign me up. I was ready.
And the thing is, and also I'm looking at it from a smaller perspective because in the areas that I'm actually speaking of, most of the people are not productive, right? There's not a lot of success that's being acquired or obtained. There's not a lot of progression on the individual basis. So I can understand why they like get out. You going to jail, you coming back, you get arrested at 17, you get out, then you get arrested again at 19. I'm not going to keep on being your parent.
Fair.
So maybe I'm looking at it from that perspective, but at the same time, that just goes to show that everybody has that, I feel like a lot of the people, a lot of their peers are dealing with the same type of situations and having the same outcome. So it's not a one person thing, it's a community thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this woman on Twitter, she had tweeted something along the lines of saying, when you become successful or like however successful you become in your career, you do not owe it to your family to take care of them. Like it's a little like entitled for your family to feel like because you're getting money now that you have to.
I think who's the family? Who's she talking about? Like
your sisters, whatever siblings, whatever siblings you got or whatever. Because like, say if you become famous and you start making a lot of money, or
what if I'm not famous but I do make a lot of money?
Okay, well let's take famous out of it then.
Okay,
you're rich, right?
Rich or wealthy?
I knew
like, it's a bunch of different. You know what I'm saying? Do I have
wealthy.
Okay, wealthy. You're making a lot of money, and I would
enough to share.
What's a lot?
Enough to share that you can use to help family, but you don't have to. I think that was the point of the tweet.
Rich, not wealthy.
That was the point of the tweet, and wealthy, people like, in the comments, because I was like, I agree with that. She doesn't have to because she has money, but if she has enough to help out those who need help, she'll do that. But the comments were like, oh no, you're wrong. That's not how I grew up. Like, if you win, the whole family wins. And I'm just like,
The whole family?
yeah, I don't need.
What's whole?
I was like, okay,
I didn't get no graduation gift from you.
Right.
Sorry.
Like, I understand what
You didn't even
people were
celebrate my
saying,
fucking college graduation. You better go somewhere.
But I was just like, yeah, not everybody was in the mud with you while whatever you did to get all this money.
Don't ask me.
But
I
and
already
it's
know
just
what I'm
like,
gonna
yes,
say.
if she wants to, yeah, she can help out whoever she pleases.
I'm gonna let y'all answer this because I
But
already know what I'm
it really, her success does not mean everyone's success. It doesn't.
Gentlemen, like, I don't want to be a
So here's my issue with the word family, right? Because we tend to use the word family for people who are blood related to us. So I actually got so mad about this shit. So I did some digging in about in regards to
Is it relatives?
the origin of family. And the origin of family has nothing to do with relations of blood. It has to do with the people who are serving the same household. Okay? So I say that to say my cousin is not my family. My aunt and my uncle are not my family.
Wait, are you talking
I
about
see
like
what you're
textbook definition you
the
went searching
actual
for?
origin definition of family that we have now changed?
What is it like? Is it like Latin or something?
It's a mixture it comes from familia. Familia is actually what means the people who serve the same household, servants of the household, right? So if you don't live in my house, you are not my family. So I don't give a fuck if you Auntie Jessie, Auntie Sherry, Uncle Tom.
Can I just help you with that?
Yeah. But hold on, let me finish.
I just want to give you a word because this happens a lot when people establish their own families. The other people become relatives.
Yep.
And that's where, like,
And that makes sense.
exactly.
Because now you're no longer my family because we're not serving the same
Yes.
household. This is the actual definition, not the feeling and emotional definition. So people got to understand like what family is. So those people who are considering themselves their family because they're relatives are misconstruing their position in your life. And a lot of times they feel as if you need to serve them, a portion of your success. But realistically, they didn't help you. They just related to you. Literally. They're relatives. So my thing is like the word family gets used so loosely.
It does.
And we don't even know what it really means. So if you're my family, yeah, I got you. We serve that same household together. Everybody, us four, us three, But the ones that are not, yo, you gone.
So that would be me to do the no contact thing with.
Exactly. Even sometimes your family, you got to do no contact in that same house too.
Yeah.
Ask.
Yeah, the same
Would
thing
that-
you just said.
Would that be easier to do the no contact theory with?
You're so
You
funny.
didn't get it. You didn't get because that second question was terrible.
Yeah.
Because he's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, just the same question.
Can I? So this is something that I have viewed, and I necessarily didn't grow up this way. So seeing this was sort of different for me. So like I grew up, my grandma got like all these fucking siblings, all these fucking first cousins. Me and my second cousins, we literally grew up like first cousins because we're all the same age. Our parents are all all around the same age. And these like, oh, these are my family members, right? But then you start to see people start to siphon, I guess, or like separate themselves when they create their own families. Your own family is a family that you create. It's your spouse, it's your children, it's your grandchildren, so on and so forth. And then the other people, they become your relatives because you are still related to them. Y'all still got the same DNA. If something happened and they be like, oh, this piece of land here got $1 gazillion worth of oil on it, it's gonna be all the relatives, you know what I'm saying? All the heirs, but that's not your family. Your family is literally like the family that you create. And I think that a lot of times that we've sort of been like disillusioned about what family means, And I think that like we have first cousins who we grow up with like siblings. So yes, now they are our family because we're lock and step. We're like this. This is now like my brother. if something happens to me, he's gonna take care of my kids or take care of my mom or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, so what I'm saying is like at that point, we've selected each other to serve the same house.
Yes.
Like Rico said. Like if something happens, let's say to my mom, and you know, me and my brother and our spouses, and let's say like I got 2 first cousins that were very close to my mom, we all serve the same house. So now them 2 cousins who are really my relatives, they're my family now because we're all serving under the same thing.
And that's,
I mean, but it makes complete sense.
think about like just the history of it, right? Well, first of all, we actually touched on it now earlier when we said we have people who have 8 to 10, 15 people in the same 5-bedroom house. That's a family. They are all serving the same house. When you have these people who have, you know, these huge, you know, 100, 200 year old mansions that all of their family has lived in. The grandfather, the great grandfather, the grandfather, the kids, or you know, the father, the sons,
everybody.
Yeah, the grandsons, everybody lived in this goddamn house. That is a family.